First of all, do you have a check and balance system to check to make sure that this system is adhered to?
Well, we have a requisition system, and the rules are over a certain number, you get quotes, and we do that. We have quote files on many items, all items, and we have requisitions which follow by a purchase order, which is then followed by a payment of claims approved by the council as you saw tonight. Then also the auditor at the end of the year reviews every single purchase. And if there's an issue of this happening, there will be a note in the borough's audit that will say you must have quotes in items over $26.50. For the last 5 years, that note has not appeared in our audit, which means the borough has adhered very well to that program.
Okay, so what comes first, the requisition or the quotes? Obviously, the quotes would be for the requisition, correct?
I guess it could, yeah, I suppose.
Well, how else would you know what your expenses
Well,
would be?
because the borough council, just so you understand, may opt to encumber money that may not be spent till September. For example, in our budget, we encumber the police uniform allowance in January, so that we know the money is set aside in requisition. We're not going to spend that till maybe June. Okay? In our budget, we also encumber the payment for the lease for the patrol car. The payment's not made till June. It's encumbered by requisition now. What a requisition does is encumber money for a purpose that may not be expended until another time of the year, but we know the money's set aside for that purpose.
But you would have to, we would agree that you'd have to have the quotes before the requisition.
I don't know if that's necessarily so. No, I don't. In other words, if we have, say, we're having a discussion in government operations. If we sit there and say, okay, we're going to spend $5,000 on bulletproof vests for the police department, and the borough council votes to encumber that money, we can then get quotes from now to the day we buy it and maybe do a better deal. So I don't know, that's not the case, that it has to be before the requisition.
Okay.
No.
Not answering the question.
Now, I'm not, look, and I don't know, again, I don't know exactly where you want to go with this.
He's not answering the question, Dan.
You know, all the department heads operate independently, and they all have a procedure to follow, and are pretty darn good at doing it. Is there an occasional...
I just don't see that there's a check and a balance system how we're watching each other spend money.
There's a lot of checks and balances. You have a requisition, a voucher, a payment of claims. The voucher has to be returned and countersigned. There's 2 signatures on every purchase order.
So you have a voucher also?
Correct, yes.
So which comes first?
What do you mean? When you...
If you're bidding on something, or say, let's just say hypothetically, you want to go out and get 30 trees for the borough.
Right.
At a cost of $5,000.
Right, which is, by the way, we're getting quotes on those right now, as we speak.
Okay, so you're getting quotes on those, so that's the first thing you do. You decide that that's where you want to go.
Right.
And that's something you need. So the decision was made to buy these 30 trees. Now you put it out to get quotes.
Yeah.
What's the next step after getting that quote?
Requisition the money in that case.
Because then it would make sense, because now you would have to know how much to put aside, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so just going back a step, if we had a quote for the 1-car installation, but we knew we were doing 4.
You know what? At this point, Dan, I'm not sure where you're going with this, but we didn't have a quote for 4 cars, and we didn't purchase the device anyway. So I know you're, in my opinion, now you're beating a dead horse.
Okay, I'll get past that. I just have a couple more questions.
Sure, go ahead.
If a council person is found in violation of your checks and balance system.
You know what? I'm not good. This is the public comment section. If you want to get into issues of this type, I don't believe this is really appropriate. We're not here to impugn or
I'm not asking. I'm just asking what is the process the council takes. I'm not asking you to crucify anyone. I'm just asking you what policies does the borough have in place to address matters. If I step out of line within the police department, there's policies and penalties that can be brought upon me. So what I'm asking you as a mayor, what is your policy to protect your flock, per se, to keep them in line?
The Borough Council operates under statutory guidelines. There is an ethics board in Trenton that complaints can be filed with. There was one filed against me several years ago. because someone believed I had not filed a disclosure report, which I had filed. So you can do that. And also, I guess technically if someone was to do something that was actually a criminal act, it would be like anything else. That has not happened here.